Yo, Dogbite, what's up, bro? Howdy. Oh, the music wasn't on. Howdy, bro. Music. So that was John Carpenter, Halloween theme music. Hopefully you guys can hear me, right? Music. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. Awesome. So, what's up, bro? How you doing? You got some good work done? Yo, namaste. Yo, Range, what's up? Namaste, Default, what's up, bro? Okay, today we are covering an interesting topic. Let me focus it on me. So, today we are covering an important and interesting topic, SQLi. This is as old as me, or even older than me, because I think the first SQLi came in 1998, like talking about SQLi in a magazine and stuff. Um, and yeah, since then it has been a big issue. It has been coming every year. So, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thank you. So yeah, this has been asked all the time. This comes up very often, I will say, and you will find it in so many places you can't believe. Right? It's very common, very important. So we'll deep dive into this by going first here, then port swinger, and then maybe even doing some CTFs, which are specifically about SQLi. I know there is one website which has like a lot of these. It's called Hacktivities. Activities, I think, or I will find it. Like there is one I know, maybe not here, but like I know there is a website which has some SQLi, yeah, exercises, so we'll do that too. So 3-4 days we'll just cover SQLi from next 3-4 days. So with that being said, let me send you guys this, and we'll get started with our stuff. The only reason I'm starting early today because I haven't slept last night. I was working, and you guys saw it through the stream. So I'm going to sleep after this, pretty much. So, with that being said, let's get started with Web Fundamentals, Introduction to Web Hacking, SQLi, the very last part of our Introduction to Web Hacking. SQLi, Task 1. SQLi, structured query language, this is the language what you use to talk to the databases, right? So SQLi injection, mostly referred to as SQLi, is an attack on a web application database server that causes malicious queries to be executed. When a web application communicates with a database using inputs from a user that hasn't been properly validated, there runs a potential of an attacker being able to steal, delete, or even alter private and customer data, and also attack the web application's authentication methods to private or customer areas. This is why SQLi is one of the oldest web application vulnerabilities, and it can also be the most damaging one because you are talking to a database, right? Teapot, what's up, dude? So to give you guys a quick idea, here's you, a hacker, right? Trying to get into some another server. Here's a web application, and here's our database, right? So how things work is usually as an attacker or as anyone, right? You send a request to the web app, and web app sends a request to the database. Now, the issue here is when somebody is doing the development, right? There is a lot of things that you can put in place, security guards, you can say, to help prevent these things. First, being like having some kind of a sanitization, input sanitization. Second, input serialization, I think, serialization something, or validation. I think there is also another one. I think all these are the same name. And also, another one is actually using a separate data layer. I have a QNS question. Go for it, bro. So there is like a lot of layers you can put to have that security in place. But what they are saying in this is in attack of web application database server that causes malicious queries to be executed. Yo, settle gamer, what's up? So putting attacker being able to steal, delete, or alter because the application is directly communicating. So what does that mean? That is if the developer, right, is not done a good job, they are directly is feeding to this. There is no security in place. Unknown, what's up, dude? That's the whole problem with SQLi, right? In this room, you will learn what databases are, what SQLi is with some commands, SQL with some basic SQL commands. I'm doing good, man. Tired because I didn't sleep last night. So I'm going to sleep after this. I have to do a couple of things, then I will sleep. So in this room, you will learn about these SQL commands, detect SQL vulnerabilities, how to exploit SQLi vulnerabilities as a developer, how to protect yourself against SQLi, right? Videos up? No, not yet. Not yet. The editing takes time, man. I was just working like my job stuff. So today I will have over the weekend I will have now time because if I sleep now and get things done. So SQLi stands for Structured Query Language. What is a database? If you're not used to working with databases or exploiting them, there's probably some new terminology to get used to. So let's start with some basics on how databases are structured and how they work. So what is a database? Database is basically a collection of data, right? The important to know, there is database, there is data, there is database management system. So I will explain you guys all the information. I want to become an ethical hacker, so it is a perfect for yeah, like if you're a good hacker, you don't even need packages. A lot of people are doing bug bounty; they are making like 1 million over a year. So yes, ethical hacking is a big thing. With AI, it's even bigger now because AI itself can be hacked. AI things AI is creating, they are done by vibe coders, not experts. So it's even more going to be in demand, in my opinion. So, database is a way of electronically storing collections of data in an organized manner. So, you have a lot of data, right? Like, um, basically, you might have information like on student, files, statements. Let's say if you are a university, right? There will be files, there will be statements, there will be invoices, there will be grades, info files, right? Calendar about a university, right? So, there's so much data a university carries. We can put all them in an organized manner that is called a database. So this is all data. This collection of it is called database. Cybersecurity is big community driven. Yes, you need to be in good communities, learn, help others. That's how you learn. Cybersecurity is big on community. Yeah. So a database is controlled by a database management system, right? So for example, here let's say you are working in this in the university, right? This is your architecture where you have these data files about students, various other departments files, right? Statements. So this is a database where you got all the data. Now, how do you make sure there are proper relationships? How do you like create like able to, if you want a record of a particular student, what you will do, right? If you want a particular student, if you want to perform any action, like okay, student, you add grades to their system, or somebody graduated or not, right? Their fees, right? How much fees they have to pay. There's so many queries, right, about this data or database, right? So to able to like get answer to these things, we have to properly set them, right? We have to properly create relationships and stuff. And that's when the database comes under database management system. Database management system is basically a management, like a software to help manage the database, right? And answer those queries. Ashish, what's up, bro? So, which is an acronym of database management system. Yo, I saw your resume. It looks so much better now. Sorry, I didn't respond. I was looking on my phone, but it looks very better now. Way much better now. I'll give you like a bit more detailed answer later. Okay, so which is an acronym of database management system? DBMS falls in two camps, right? There are two types of database management system. One is relational, which is like the old version where a lot of people are very familiar with this, right? Relational includes, so this database is part of two, it has two types of database. One is relational, other is non-relational. This is the oldie, right? But goodie. In this is like the Postgres. You might have heard of MS SQL, MariaDB, Microsoft SQL, right? Non-relational databases. These are the new version, and you might have seen very popular one being like Firebase, MongoDB. There's more stuff coming, more types of databases are coming, but I will say I think there are seven, but mostly what we are going to look for, most common ones, are actually relational and non-relational. There are total seven, I will say. I have a small doubt. I'm cybersecurity student. Problem is that I'm going into certification CEH. I don't know. CEH is going to help you in the sense like it's a good certificate to have. HR people have those, but like look for more like improving your skills, getting like involved in the community, writing blogs and stuff to get like in part of community, and you can get those jobs better, easier. eJPT is a good one. Like look at the LinkedIn and Indeed, right? You will see which certificates are more popular. So focus. Wait, let me have to do the toggle too. I forgot. 1 second. Toggle track is 25 minutes, 5 minutes. Remember that? 25 minutes studying, 5 minutes talking and stuff. Where is that? Now it's here. Okay, I'm starting this. Okay, so there are total 7 types of databases. I can give you guys a quick video which I like. Yeah, 7 database paradigms. Even though they still can be put into these, but here. Yeah, like CH is good. It's good to have for starting, 100%, but get more. Keep on involving, bro. We'll talk about this more later, okay? Once the timer is up. So the focus of this room will be relational databases because they are used a lot more. Relational databases are everywhere. Some common ones you will come across are Microsoft MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Access, PostgreSQL, SQLite is a big one. We'll explain the difference between relational and non-relational databases at the end of this task, but first it's important to learn a few terms. optional thing for me. Yeah. Within a DBMS, you can have multiple databases, each containing its own set of related data. For example, you may have a database called shop. Within this database, you want to store information about products available to purchase, users who have signed up for online shops. So, for example, we have Amazon. Amazon will have, okay, all the products, all the users who have signed up, information about the orders people have received or given just now, right? Not received yet. You would store this information separately in the database using something called tables. So you have a database now. I will say uh, CPTS1. I'm going for PT1, right? That's what we are doing here. There is a lot more. And at the end will be OSCP, but there is PGPT, I think. Some from THM, they are really good. So we have databases. Let me remove this. We have the database, right? Inside a database, how things look, there would be relationships. Uh, so let's say this is a database, right? Things should be connected. There are multiple ways. Let's say, for example, this is a university database. This is a university database. Then in university, there will be a table of all the students, right? There will be also a table of all the faculties, professors, all the faculty, or even staff, you can say, right? There would be table for, let's say, something else like courses, right? So all the information about students will be in the student table, right? All the information about faculty will be in the faculty table, courses offered, right? And a student can take multiple courses, right? A student can have multiple faculty. A faculty can teach various courses. There are relationships that happens, right? So the tables are identified with a unique name in each one. So every single table will have a unique name. There won't be two student tables. No, in one database there won't cannot be two same name, like two student tables or something. You can see the structure of in the diagram below. You can also see how a business might have other databases to store staff information. Okay, this is really not the way I liked it. Okay, that's better. So we have something like this, right? A whole database server will have multiple databases. So there, because a university can have, let's say, a library shop, a shop, right? University shop, staff, various accounts, for example, employment stuff. So every single database, shop is a database, can have various tables, right? Users, products, and orders. Staff can be users, information, courses, and stuff. Accounts could be customers and stuff. So a database server can have multiple databases, and one database can have multiple tables. What are tables? A table is made up of columns and row. A table, like you guys have seen it in Excel, right? A table looks like this with like couple of columns. One would be a key, right? A various information like name, student address, blah blah blah, right? A table is made up of columns and rows. A useful way to imagine a table is like a grid with the column going across the top from left to right, containing the name, cell, and the rows going from top to bottom. So basically, left side here, all these, this is called a row. This is a row. For example, student number one, CH, address 123, street, right? Two could be like dog bite, third could be unknown, right? And their addresses. That's a record. A record is basically across, this is a row. This is a column, a address column, name column, and ID column. Just like here. Column is referred to as fields, unique name per table. When creating a column, you also set the type of the data. So here you are setting, this will be a number, this will be a text. Again, this can be text, right? Common ones being integers, strings, or dates. Some databases can contain much more complex data, such as geospatial one. Geospatial would have latitude, longitude, a lot of more information, right? For example, your medical, that would have x-rays in it. DNA cannot be in text, it has to be a special data structure, right? So those type of extra type of information, non traditional, can be there. Setting the data type also ensures that incorrect information isn't stored, such as the string hello world being stored in a column mean for dates. So it's a good way to validate the data is correct. And the data server will usually produce error message based on what's happening. A column containing an integer also have auto increment feature enabled. So here, this ID is 123, like it's a big ID, right? You don't care what the ID of the person would be, but it should have a unique ID. A student should have a unique student ID, right? So you keep on incrementing by one. This gives each row a unique number called basically the key field. A key field has a unique for every row, which can be used to find the exact row in SQL queries. So if I want to know like the information of student, like for example, right? Hey, we were talking about these data, and one of the questions we asked was, is a student, is let's say student 3, right? Student with student ID 3, is he graduated or not? You go here, information will be here, graduated or not. Simple, right? Because of 3, I know. When you the reason we don't do it with name, because two kids in a university can have same name, so you go with the ID, right? That's why if you were thinking, hey, why not check with ID, there could be multiple people with the same name. Why didn't check with the name? There are multiple people, but ID is unique. One second. Okay. Relational versus non-relational databases. A relational database stores information in tables, and often the tables share information between them. So relational versus non-relational, as I was saying, right? There is one table is connected in various ways to another table. One table could be connected to one or more tables, right? The table will often contain a column that has a unique ID, which will then be used as other tables reference. So remember the ID we were talking about here? It could be used because it's unique. Another one could say, hey, accounts, this account belongs to which user, right? It would be linking this key. One account per one student, right? If the invoice per semester, something like that. The table will often contain a column that has a unique ID, which will be used for relation. Yeah. Non-relational databases, this is a way more newer, like not new anymore, but like it's way more newer concept, a paradigm compared to the SQL one, compared to the relational one. Any sort of database that doesn't use tables, columns, or rows to store data, they are not storing in a table format, is given a non, it's basically a non-SQL one. How it is storing data then, you might ask, right? There are, how it would be storing a data. And you have already seen it. When I open File Explorer here, right, there are so many folders I have. I have so many folders. They are storing like Word document. They might be storing different types of documents. That's another way of storing data, right? In which you have, let's say, a folder, and that folder will have various other data files. Could be an Excel, Word, or a simple text file, right? They are data, just not stored in a tabular format, right? They are stored in files format. A specific database layout doesn't need to be constructed so each row of data can contain different information. So it's non-structured is, hey, the Word won't have the same information as Excel or TXT, right? It doesn't have to. Some popular databases of this type are MongoDB, Cassandra, and Elasticsearch. Very useful, especially Elasticsearch when it comes to like cybersecurity SOX thing. So non-relational is very useful. There is a reason it came, right? There is a reason after using relational databases for 30, 40 years, people are like, it's not solving all our problems. Let's create a new type. Now that we have learned a database, let's see how we can actually talk to it using a SQL. Acronym of software that controls the database, DBMS, database management system. Grid like structure which holds data, table. Okay. Now next, what is SQL? A SQL, basically, like we are talking to someone, right? We are talking to AI. The language we use is basically English, right? We are talking to let's say somebody who cannot speak, right? Unfortunately, so we talk to them through a language, right? Sign language. So for to talk to database, we use something called structured query language, or SQL. Is a feature-rich language that's used for querying database. So those questions, query is like question. We had the database, right? That's a really bad database. Can I? Is there a database image? Eh, nothing is good. One second, lads. Let me find. Yeah, this works. Sorry, I just like having good diagrams. So we have a SQL. SQL is because this is a database with so much information, right? So much data about students. This is a university database. You want to ask a question, just like for example, you ask AI how to write a code, what is the next investment strategy, how to do taxes, blah blah blah. Right? You are asking a question, your query. There is a query you have. Same with the university database management system. This DBMS, we have a query. Hey, how much a student paid? A student, let's say one, paid last semester. What was its fees, right? Or how much does the person has to pay? What's its due? So you use a language called SQL to ask database that question. Query is written in the SQL language. The simplest of the command, which you will cover in the task, is used to retrieve, right? Using the select keyword. Update is another keyword. Insert or delete. So more, these four will cover majority of your queries. Although somewhat similar, some database servers have their own syntax and slight changes to make to how things work. All these examples are based on MySQL database. After learning the lessons, you will easily be able to search for alternative syntax online for the different servers. It's worth noting that SQL syntax is not case sensitive. So capital SELECT is same as small lowercase select, right? So first query is select star from users. So what is users? A table. You want, what you asking is that, hey, give me a list or tell me all the students. One second, I'll close the window. Sorry, there's so much snow. They started like doing proper machinery and stuff. Okay, so this is a SQL language. What are they saying? Hey, from the students table, from this table, right? From this table, get me everything. Get everything from this table, right? That's how you read it basically. So it will give you the ID, all the columns, all the rows. It will give you everything. The first word select tells the database what you want to do, right? What action you want to perform, get or select basically. The star is like a wildcard, is a special symbol that means everything. We want to retrieve back all columns from the table. And which table? Student, right? From student, tell the database we want to retrieve the data from the table named users in this case. Find a semicolon at the end to tell the query, hey, just like in English, you are asking, get all data from users, or let's say students, whatever. Get all the data from these, and you put a full stop to tell, hey, this is my command, this is my query. Same thing with SQL, you put a semicolon. It's like a full stop of English, or full stop of SQL query. Final a semicolon at the end ends the query. The next query is similar, but this time instead of using star to return all columns or in the database, we are just requesting the user and password field. Select user password from users. Username John, admin Martin. Passwords are these. Once again, I'll drink some water too. Friday. Okay, the following query, like the first, return all the columns. Oh wait. Oh, this is different. So here, another query is this. Let's read this one in English. Select. So hey, get me what? Username and password. These two columns. You put the column name here. Get me these two, username and password, from users table. Right? Pretty simple English. Try to convert things into English. It's very simple. So in this case, we have select star from users limit 1. So in this case, what happens? Let's divide this, right? Select star from users. Hey, get me all the data from users table. Then it says, hey, limit it to 1. So get me all the data, right, first, and then filter out and give me only the one, which is like probably the very first one. Give me that. So the limit 1 clause forces the database to return only one row, right? Get all this, create a list of all users from this and give me like the very first one type of thing. Changing the query to limit 1 comma 1 forces the query to skip the first result and then basically skip the first result and then give the one, or limit 2 skips the first two, and so on. This you might have seen in real life, where let's say if your teacher or like your principal comes into the school and say, hey, um, show me the first, who has the first roll number, right? He wants to see. So what he will do, get the register of all the student, right? Yeah, we got SOC people here too, boss. So we will get the register, right, with all the student records, and then we'll get the roll number one in class, right? So here's the same thing. Select star from users. He get the register with all the records and limit it to only one. If he did limit 1 comma 1, he will be getting roll number 2. First is skipped, then you get the first one, or how many you want. You can get 2, limit 2, right? You need to remember the first number tells the database how many results you wish to skip. Second will how many to return. Lastly, we have select star from users where username is admin. So again, going back to the student one, right? Student example at your principal office. Hey, dividing it into two, right? Select get me all the students, right? Get all students from users table, right? Now you got all the users. Now we are going to look for username who has the name admin. Bro, word execution, the test. Dude, I am so busy. Okay, that being said, right, get all users and then look for the person with the name admin. You might have seen this too. Principal comes in and says, hey, get me the register of all the students. Then he finds the student with the name, let's say CH, right? Looking for a particular name. That's the same case here, where username is admin, where the student name is CH. Uh, Another way is like, hey, give me list of all students whose name is not CH. Here, get me list of all users where username is not admin. This one, get me list of all users where the username is admin or John. Admin or John. After that, another one, admin, and the password is this. So here, this is an interesting one. Let's divide into two again, right? Select star from users, or actually three, where first you find the admin. So first you got all the users, right? You got all the users in the database. Now you say, hey, I only want the one who has the name admin. And let's say there are three records with the same name as admin. Now you're like, hey, you know what? Filter it down more. Only give me that one or give me only those ones who has the password as P with 4 SSWD, the WORD. You have seen this again with the principal example, right? He gets the file of all students, says, hey, I want the student with the name CH and who lives in Canada. Simple. This will only return the rows where the username is equal to admin and the password is equal to this. While like clause allows you to specify data that isn't an exact match, but instead either starts, dude, word, this is how wrench is, man. This is how wrench is. So we are at the 25-minute mark. I don't know if you guys have any questions for me so far. I'll drink some water. This is a lot to cover. Oh boy. We will at least reach in band SQLi, hopefully. Just answer me, what is Yuba and Splunk? I have no idea what Yuba is, man. I haven't touched SOC. I don't like SOC. I'm not a SOC guy, just in case. User behavior. Oh, cool. Okay. So, no more questions. Inbuilt or any method, I think you can do both, maybe. If you can build a method, you can like have it as default too. I don't know. Oh, the Discord, yes. I'll send you the Discord link, lads. Thank you, Unknown, for reminding. Here's the link and it's in the pin. Dude, wrench is like this, man. This is how it is. This is how it goes. You think you are new here? Trust me, wrench has been here for months. You should just watch like one of the other ones, other streams. You will see. Okay, I'll go back. You guys continue the chat, right? So people want to know about SQL, they can just focus this. Okay, we are here at the like clause. Like is a special one, right? Question is, hey, in the students, registration principal, right, says, hey, in the principal wants to know, right, which all students have the name starting with A, right? Starting letter A or anything after that is okay, but how many kids have starting letter A? That's what like is. Like a percentage. So any name with A and anything at the after, it could be admin, it could be anonymous, it could be Annabelle, whatever, right? It will work for all of those. It will, like, as long as the first one matches, it works. So this one will return all the users with the username starting with A. Okay, this return any rows with the username beginning with the letter A. Yes. Next, from users where username like percentage n, like and percentage is the one that can be replaced. So that means, hey, what are all the students whose name ends with a n? Could be anything in the starting, right? But has an N at the very end. So John, admin, Martin. This returns any rows with a username ending with the letter N. Now next one is MI, and percentage sign is on both sides. So that means, hey, it should have MI in the middle and anything can happen at the front or the end. That means like there could be I believe this one also includes just MI as the name, or it could be AMI, it could be MIN, or it could be a Mimi. I don't know, whatever. It could be like Amit, right? ATW. This one is matches, this one still matches, right? Mi has is there. This returns any rows with the username containing the characters mi within them. Union statement. Union is important to know. This is a special one, right? Union is a special type of relationship between two statements. So union statement combines the results of two or more select statements to retrieve data from neither single or multiple tables. The results. I'm tired. Okay. Union statement combines the results of two or more select statements to retrieve data from either single or multiple tables, right? So, for example, hey, going back to the principal wants to know, Simon says, or Uncle Sam wants to know, there is a table register of students, then there is a register of um, sports sports students and student of, let's say, class 10th, right? So 10th versus sports students in the school. Principal is like, hey, give me list of all students whose name starts with A, right? And are also playing basketball. It's been more than 24 hours I haven't slept. Huh. Okay. The rule of this query are that the union statement must retrieve same number of columns in each select statement. The column have to be on similar data type, and the column, oh, this is not that way. Okay. Has to be same. This might sound not very clear. So let's use the following. Say a company wants to create a list of addresses of all customers and suppliers to post a new catalog. You have one table called customers and the with the following. So we have customer table ID, name, address, city, postcode. And for supplier, we have ID, company name, not the name, but company name, address, city, and postcode, right? We have two tables. One is about just customer names and supplier. And the company wants to create another basically database or another table for a new catalog which will cover all the addresses, right? So whenever we query something, right, with the SQL, it basically creates kind of a temporary, what's this called? Temporary table, if you think about it. So for example, we have customer. Hey, give me list of customers who buy more than $2,000 worth of stuff from my store. So it will create a temporary table which will contain of all the customer information which buy more than $2,000 worth, which do $2,000 worth of shopping from the store, right? Now I do not want all the customers. I just want the addresses of all the customers. So it will have address, city, and postal code. That's all the information I want. Now with supplier, it will create a temporary table. Let's say temp2 table, and we say the same thing. We have address, city, postal code, right? Now union, important for union is Number of columns should be same between both. Union is like, hey, can you add these two tables together? Can you make them? If this is one table, this is the other one, can you make them together? For that, two things. Number of columns should be same, and the table should be say like the data type should be same too. If postal for city for US for example, right, is all numbers, or in India it's all numbers, but for US or Canada it's not all numbers. Actually for US I don't know, but for Canada it's alphanumeric, right? It has alphabets and numbers, so this won't work. It has to be with another country which is alphanumeric or just numbers. So we have this company names, right? Using the following SQL statement, we can gather the results from the two tables. So we need to create first a statement of this. Select all the get me all the address, city, and postal code from the table customers. Get me address, city, and postal code from all the company table. Right? Select name, address, city, postal code from customer. Then union select union add and create another table from suppliers which has company name, address, city, postal code. Not make sure to understand column name doesn't have to be same, but the data type of that column, all the things inside should be same. Okay. Huh. Sure, please get me more subs. But I'm way too tired. Get me some sleep too. The insert statement tells the database we wish to insert a new row of data into the table. Into users tells the database which table we wish to insert the data into. So you created a table. Let's say there is a student table, right, with the student ID, name, or and something like say their address. Now what you do with insert, you already have, let's say, student 1, 2, 3. Insert, you add one more with, let's say, another ID as 4, another name, another address, right? That's what insert statement does, add data to the table we already have. So wish to insert a new row to the table we already have, insert into users, provide the column we are providing the data. So we can also insert data about this. Let's say when somebody student was signing up, they didn't have any address, they were homeless. Now they have data, now they have a home, so they're adding that. So ID, username, password, insert into users table, username and password, value Bob and password 123. Earlier it was just John, admin, and Martin, right? Update. Now you have a password on Facebook. You want to update it. That's where a statement like update will come, where you say, hey, update table name and set this password for user, let's say ch, password to be this. Probably no hacking today, bro. There's so much data here. Or maybe we might be doing hacking. Let's see. Let's see. Depends, man. Depends. Probably tomorrow. Maybe coming tomorrow. Let's see. That my if I come tomorrow, we'll do some CTF for sure. Hopefully. I'm just too tired right now. I haven't slept for last 24 hours. Has been grinding. So update. What do you want to update? I want to update the table users. What? Yeah, I won't survive the CTF. That's for sure. Bro, my life is hijacked at this point. I don't know. I don't want more hijacking. My life is hijacked. Okay, my sleep is hijacked. More like, to be honest. Okay, going back, right? Update. I want to update. Where you want to update? I want to update in table users. Okay, what do you want to update? For username root. password 123, right? I want to set username as root and password 123 for the username whose username is admin. I accidentally. Yeah, this won't work. No. So I have a table, right? Or I'll just go up. Okay, all data is gone. Never mind. So I have a student table, right? Yo, unknown, what's up? So student, right, table have student ID, student name, and address. Now somebody moved from their previous place to a new one. What do? Hey, you say, hey, I want to update a record. Okay, you want to update database will be like, okay, where you want to update? Student table. No, why? Dude, I'm good at teaching. He might be here. Why? What the heck? I got some really smart people here. Update student, right? And then we would be like, hey, what you want to update or where you want to update? Where to update? Where student name or student ID is equal to 3. Thank you, bro. Thank you. And right, what do you want to do? Make it. I want the update to be student address to be 456 street. Which student should have this address? Student number 3. Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you. Wait, your message didn't come on here yet. I don't know why. I see a message here from you. Interesting. Thank you. But like, yeah, I don't know why the message didn't come here. Interesting. Okay, now we are at the very last statement. Delete. Remember, select, insert, update, delete. 4 things will cover majority of the things you want. Delete statement is about, of course, deleting something. Another action, right? Delete one or more rows. How it works, just like update, right? What do you want to do? Hey, delete the user, delete from users. Which record should I delete from the users, right? Which record should I delete from the students? Delete from student whose ID is, let's say, 123, something like that. I don't know how there is filter. There should not, there isn't any filter from my side. There's no filters I have put. I don't know, maybe like a API issue or a tech issue behind them. Might be possible, right? So delete from users, if we do that. So hey, I want to delete from users. Okay, what do you want to delete? Where username is this? Oh, I see. Interesting. So I want to delete from Martin. The Martin is gone. Now I want to delete everything. I will say, hey, delete everything, delete from users. I don't give. So what it will delete? It will delete everything. When no where clause is being put, all the data will be deleted. Following ones won't pass through, but you will see it through the top YouTube tab. Oh, okay, interesting. Interesting. Had no idea. So, what SQL statement is used to retrieve data? To get data, you need select. Used to retrieve data from multiple tables, union. So we have 2 tables, customer table with addresses, supplier tables addresses. I want to merge them, right, together and then give that. So that's union. Statement to add data, insert, and that's it. My throat is gone. 1 second, let's. And we are at a 45-minute mark, so it's okay. We'll take a quick 1 minute break. Wait, what streak? Unknown is currently at a 3-day streak, lost the streak of 7 days. Damn. Unknown, come on, bro. Not it, bro, not it. Okay. Now, going to the task 4, probably the last task of our day today. Sorry, I'm just getting work related messages, so I have to go to work. Certifications, bro. I don't have security certifications. I have like a lot of cloud and development related certifications. Nothing for security yet. This year, I want to get my PT1. That's like the plan. Slavery incoming, indeed. Indeed. RIP. Okay. So, what is SQL injection? SQL injection, the point wherein an application using SQL can turn SQL injection is when user provided data gets included in the SQL query. What does that mean? Right? So remember, we had select star from user, right? Table. And then we have, let's say, a where clause where student ID is this equal to some input that is given. Some input that is given, which could be, let's say, a student, somebody is putting their ID here. I'll put in as green. 1, 2, 3. This 1, 2, 3, how does it come? Is actually like from a web application, just like Facebook. You're entering your email, right? Get the page, get the login of, like for example, on YouTube, I try to log in, get the login of person whose username is censored hacker, right? So in this case, we have get information from user where the student, or students actually, get information, all the information from the student table where student ID is 1, 2, 3. Now 1, 2, 3 is added by someone like you and me who wants to retrieve all the information about our own profile. Imagine this. Instead of entering 1, 2, 3, I entered 1, 2, 3 semicolon, right? I entered this as well, double quotes, and then I said delete from student. So all that information, and I enter again this double quotes. So what happens here? All this information, 1, 2, 3 quote semicolon delete from student, will all go here and it will execute. First, it will get the information of the student with 1, 2, 3. Now it will delete everything from the user. Something like that, when the query generated is based on what user is giving the input, that's called SQLi or SQL injection, right? What does it look like? Take the following scenario where you come across an online blog and each blog entry has unique ID number. The blog entries have to be either set up to public or private depending on whether they are ready for public release. The URL for each blog entry may look something like this. You might have seen actually in my case too. So this is the blog right? This is written by Ashish, right? Ashish wrote this blog. You see the information here? I'll send this. Tell Ashish it's a good written one, man. Guy's working really hard. So you see the end here, how SOC detects. So in my case, I'm setting up the title of the, what's this called? Title of the blog as the way to navigate. Some places it would be just try hack me, room number one, room number two, right? Or blog number one, blog number two. That's the website. From the URL above, you can tell like the next ID of the blog. He is grinding, man. He's releasing, or he released another one. He released another one. February 7th. He's releasing another one. Third one is coming soon. Guys releasing one like every 2 weeks. Really good. So from URL above, you can see the blog entry selected once from the ID parameter. So ID 1, change it to ID 2, you will get a different blog. 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. Indeed, indeed. The web application needs to retrieve the article from the database and may use SQL statement that looks something like this. ID this, private equals 0, limit 1. So here it's this converted. So this website.tryhackme blog ID 1 is converted into a SQL query. Select all the information about this blog from the blog table where ID is 1 and private is equal to 0 and give limit 1. So only one blog is retrieved. From what you have learned in the previous task, you should be able to work out the SQLi in SQL statement above in looking in the block is above is looking in the block table from an article with the ID number as 1 and the private column set to 0, which means that it's able to be viewed by public and limits the number of results by one match. Oh, as mentioned at the start of this task, SQL injection is introduced when user input is introduced in the database query. So here, 1 is going into the database query. Let's see what we can do next. In the instance, the parameter query is directly being fed to the SQL query. So yeah, go for it, bro. I would love to, like, send me the link. I would love to look at those. Let's pretend article number 2 is still logged as private. So it cannot be viewed on the website, right? So what's happening is from the blog table, give me the name of the, what's this called? The public article, right? The private is 0. Not the private, just the public with the ID 1. And keep the limit to 1. Only 1 should be retrieved. What we are going to do here is going to do SQL injection because we want to see the private ones that are not released. How we'll do that? By manipulating this request we have blog ID equals 2 and we are entering this semicolon dash dash. What is dash dash? It's like a comment in SQL, right? For example, in Python we have this. In Java and JavaScript we have double backslashes, forward slash. I don't know what to say. It's backslash actually. Yeah. Hash in case of Python. So in SQL we have these. Dash dash, this is a single statement, right? You can have this way as well. There's multiple ways you can do that. So now what this query becomes, so this 2 this information is added. I don't know why Ashish Rench, you guys should work together and write some SOC related because you want to go in SOC too. You both need want to go in SOC. Create like a really good lab or a website to teach other people. That would be nice. That would actually like help you both of you and get both of you a good job. Right? So this thing enters here, and how it will be? That's true. I agree with you, boss. I'm going to take this, put it here. Instead of one, I'll go this. Now, what does this means is all this is going to be working out well. Everything, uh, everything here will work out well. This is a statement, right? Select everything from blog where ID is 2 and limit can be more. Now there is no limit 1, so it could give you multiple blogs. What this will do is getting neglected because it's a comment now. I don't think cybersecurity like fighting improves, just fighting improves. I think like collaboration improves your skill too a lot. And in your case, it is important. Nice. That's a good one. Which will return the article of ID2 whether it's of public or not, right? So here, because the private thing is gone, so ID2, the blog, which is with the ID2, whether it's private or public, doesn't matter. Dude, I will be into actually. This is just one example of SQL injection vulnerability of type called in-band SQLi. There is three types: in-band, blind, and out-of-band, which we'll discuss in the following task. How many characters significance is there? Okay. Bro, I would be into. Honestly, if you give me a chance to go in Big Brother, those shows, and I'm getting paid, let's say 3 lakhs or like three $6,000 per episode one day, I have to like I will do anything to survive for like 50, 60, 70 days, 100 days. I will be rich after that. Some Oh yeah, you told me about this. Don't worry, bro. You told me about this. Yeah, yeah. Yo, Ashish, send a message to Wrench after this. You guys should like collaborate, man. It would be very helpful. You both will learn a lot. Okay, lads, but this was it for today. There's so much information, and I'm way too tired to read everything. There's in-band, blind, blind boolean, and time-based. I think this itself is not a 30-minute one. That's for sure. Thank you. But I don't know who put this. It's not a 30-minute room, that's for sure. It's at least like 2 hour room. But we should like it will be nice. It would be fun because we do this and actually I forgot. I now remember the website I was saying. Hacksploit. Practicing. Uh, Penetration. He's a student, bro. It's fine. It's good too. He's a student. I think this is the one. Hackersploit activity? No. Can we? No. Exploit. Let me check. I have it bookmarked in my phone. I look at it sometimes. Hacksplaining.com. Here we go. So here, this is where we'll be looking at after this. There is some AI ones. What we care about is this. We will have like certain ones we will do. If you guys want to start, have a look. I don't know why we are fighting still. Yeah, but this is the SQL injection we'll do soon. Oh boy, too tired, man. It's a crazy day, tiring and crazy day. Alrighty, lads. Sorry, this is a small stream. I haven't slept in last 24 hours. I need to get some sleep at least, right? And yeah, this is the Discord account. Discord. This is where you guys can fight to. There, I will create a channel for you to specifically fight. I think you guys will enjoy it. Okay. But with that being said, thank you so much, lads. It is great to see so many people, especially on the weekend, turning out for learning. I hope all of you guys work hard and get whatever you want in life. Till then, this has been your favorite censored hacker. Yes, indeed. This has been your favorite censored hacker, signing off with a big bye. Thank you so much. Thanks, Ashish. Thanks, Dogbite. Thanks, Wrench. Thanks, Word. Thanks, Unknown. Thank you all for joining. Have a great